Okay, let's unpack this. There's this persistent idea floating around, especially if you're a content creator, that a newsletter's main value, like its big moneymaker, is simply the subscription fees. You know,
Hmm.
you get subscribers, they pay, and that's the business. But what if that thinking is actually, well, limiting your potential? What if there's a much, much bigger opportunity just sitting there waiting for you?
That is exactly what we're diving into today. Our mission, really, is to explore how a single newsletter, if you approach it strategically, can become this multi-million-dollar revenue hub. And we'll use a really interesting public success story as a kind of case study to, bring it to life, show what's actually possible. And the key thing here is that these ideas, they're pretty universal. They apply across almost any content niche you can think of. The framework we looked at, it actually suggests many creators are sitting on these premium content gold mines, maybe without fully realizing it.
Exactly. And the core idea, the real shift, is this. Smart creators see newsletters not just for subs, but as a revenue hub that amplifies everything else. And wait until you hear the numbers this framework suggests. We're talking potentially over $220,000 a month from just one newsletter.
It's pretty staggering.
For these projections, we're using the example of Well-Off Media. Now, it's important, like the analysis stresses, this is a hypothetical case study. It's not affiliated with them. It's all based on public info and industry analysis, but it really serves as this powerful illustration of what could be possible. Okay, so let's start peeling back the layers here. We'll begin with what most people think of first, the obvious stream. But as you'll see, it's really just the start. It's the foundation.
That's right. So layer one, the bedrock,
Mm-hmm.
premium subscriptions. This is basically where some of your free audience decides to pay for more. In our well-off media example, you've got almost, 2.4 million free subscribers. Even if just 10% convert, that's around 237,000 premium subscribers at $25 a month. That alone, it projects out to about $59,311 monthly. Solid money.
Yeah, that's not small change.
No, but the real insight isn't just the number. It's that these paid subscribers, they become your most engaged, most invested audience members. They're sort of primed for everything else that comes next.
Okay, that's a strong foundation. But from there, we jump up pretty significantly, right? To the potential of major corporate partnerships. This seems like where the scale really changes.
Oh, absolutely. The next big stream is corporate sponsorships. And the value for brands here isn't just eyeballs. It's the deep engagement and the trust they have in your specific voice. So think about a hypothetical partnership, maybe with a big name like Nike. The analysis suggests something like $10,000 per newsletter.
Wow.
Yeah, and not just for putting a logo on it. It's for genuinely integrated stuff,
Hmm.
like um, authentic gear reviews by the players themselves, maybe exclusive behind-the-scenes training footage, or even endorsements from their families. Authenticity is key. For your niche, maybe it's tech companies sponsoring a deep dive on new software, or a food brand and recipes you actually use.
That makes sense. It has to feel real.
Exactly. Then you've got, say, local Boulder businesses trying to reach those really passionate CU football fans. That could be another $5,000 per newsletter. Things like restaurant spotlights, local event access, community stories.
So hyper-local targeting.
Precisely. And that applies everywhere. A local shop sponsoring a style guide, a regional service provider in a community newsletter. It works. And don't forget specialized services. For the college football audience, things like exclusive transfer portal news or commitment scoops for recruiting services, that could fetch another $5,000 per newsletter. For your content, maybe it's a news job board or a research firm sponsoring market reports. You add these up, and the projected monthly sponsor revenue hits around $80,000, which honestly lines up with industry rates for that kind of audience engagement.
Okay, that's a huge leap from subscriptions. It really shows the power of that trust you mentioned. So how does that trust and your, authentic recommendations within the newsletter turn into actual sales without needing a warehouse full of stuff?
Right, that brings us nicely to affiliate marketing. The trick with affiliate marketing in a newsletter isn't just dropping links, it's weaving recommendations naturally into your content. That trust we keep talking about. It means your audience is way more open to a genuine endorsement from you than some random ad. So conversion rates for products you actually use and believe in, much higher.
Okay, so specific example.
Yeah, the analysis gives a few hypotheticals, like sports gear Coach Prime actually uses, maybe $2,000 a month from that. Books or courses he genuinely recommends could be $1,500. Training supplements the players take,
Hmm.
perhaps $3,000. Even like business tools for other creators, that could add another $1,000 a monthly. You add it all up, and that's potentially $7,500 a month in affiliate revenue, all driven by that authentic connection.
That's the power of genuine influence, isn't it? When people trust you, they trust what you suggest. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about something maybe more exclusive, higher value, tapping into that direct engagement with the real superfans.
Yes, this is VIP experiences. We're talking unique, high-ticket opportunities. Stuff your biggest fans are not just willing, but actually excited to pay a premium for. The analysis has some cool examples. Imagine like Prime Weekly subscriber meetups. Maybe 20 people paying $500 each month. That's $10,000 right there.
Wow. Okay.
Or exclusive practice viewings. $2,000 per person, maybe 10 people quarterly. That averages out to about $6,667 a month. Even something really personal, like Sanders Family Dinners, say 8 people quarterly at $1,500 each. That's $4,000 a month. And behind-the-scenes documentary access, maybe $750 per person for 15 people monthly, another $11,250.
So for our listeners, this could be like private workshops or exclusive Q&As.
Exactly. Curated group trips, early access to beta tests,
Yeah.
whatever offers unique access or proximity. This category alone, in the example, projects to about $31,917 monthly because it's selling something special, access.
That really taps into that deeper connection. Okay. Now, how does the expertise you build through the newsletter translate into service opportunities, going beyond just creating content?
Good question. That's corporate consulting. Your newsletter basically acts as your showcase. It establishes your authority, proves your expertise, and that naturally leads to high-value consulting gigs. The analysis mentions things like sports branding strategy for $15,000 per program monthly,
Okay.
or media training for coaches at $5,000 a session, maybe partnership development on a $10,000 monthly retainer. So think about your expertise. If you write about finance, maybe you consult for fintechs, cover design, advise on UX strategy. This stream, in the projection, adds another $25,000 monthly, all stemming from the credibility built by the newsletter.
So once you've got this engaged audience that trusts you, how do you sell them actual physical products effectively?
That would be merchandise integration. This really leverages that direct sales power you have with an owned audience. Think newsletter exclusive merch drops or Prime Weekly branded gear, maybe early access to CU stuff. The key insight, email conversion rates are usually way higher than, say, social media ads.
Yeah, people are more focused.
Exactly. They're already warm, they trust you, it's a less distracting environment. The analysis suggests this could reasonably bring in around $8,000 monthly.
Okay, almost there. One more stream. What about the content itself? Can the information become a product?
Yes, absolutely. That's content licensing. This is where your existing content, your unique frameworks, your IP basically, can be repurposed and sold. For instance, maybe syndicating original content to other sports media outlets. That could be $3,000 a month. Licensing your proven newsletter format or strategy guides to other programs or creators, maybe $5,000 monthly. Even selling things like successful newsletter templates or content calendars, perhaps another $2,000 a month. This stream projects $10,000 monthly on its own.
Wow. Okay, so let's recap those numbers quickly.
All right, if we add up all those projected streams, premium subs at $59,311, sponsorships $80,000, affiliates $7,500, VIP experiences $31,917, consulting $25,000, merch $8,000, and licensing $10,000. That brings the hypothetical total monthly revenue to, well, an astonishing $221,728
Per month.
per month. That's potentially almost $3 million a year. Now, again, got to stress, these are hypothetical projections
Right.
based on industry analysis, but they paint an incredible picture of the scale that's possible. It really changes how you think about monetizing content, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. That figure is
Yeah.
remarkable.
Yeah.
I can almost hear listeners thinking, okay, that sounds amazing, maybe too amazing.
Yeah.
So beyond just the numbers, what's the magic sauce here? What are the core principles making this multi-revenue thing work? What are most people missing?
Right. This is what the analysis calls the newsletter multiplication effect. It's understanding that these aren't just separate buckets of money. They feed each other. They're synergistic. Each stream builds on the core value and, crucially, the trust that the newsletter creates.
Okay, so how does that work in practice?
Well, think about it. You build community with great content. That trust. It makes sponsors willing to pay premium rates. They know the message will hit home. That exclusive content, the engagement, it creates super fans. And those are the people who jump on high-value VIP experiences.
Makes sense.
Your expertise shines through the newsletter week after week. Consulting gigs start coming to you because the audience is yours and they trust you deeply. Affiliate conversions go through the roof compared to other channels. And that strong community you've built, it creates demand. So merchandise actually sells well.
Ah, okay, so it's not just newsletter subscriptions.
Exactly. Most creators think newsletter subscription money. That's the basic view. But the smart creators, the analysis suggests, no. Newsletter and trust. Multiple high-value revenue streams. And these streams amplify each other. It's a cycle.
That's a really critical difference, moving from just consumption to connection and multiplication. So how can you, listening right now, start applying this? How can you figure out your potential streams? The analysis gives us this revenue stream audit, basically some key questions for you to ask yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Take a minute, maybe pause after this, and really think about your content, your audience, your skills. Ask yourself, who would actually sponsor my content? Like, genuinely. What brands do I already talk about? What products do I use that align? What services would my specific audience find valuable enough to pay for?
Okay, what else?
Then what unique experiences could you sell? Could you offer behind-the-scenes looks, one-on-one time, group events, exclusive content drops, beta access? Also, really reflect. What specific expertise do you have? What do people already ask you about? What skills have you honed? What mistakes could you help others avoid? That's consulting potential. And finally, what could you license or productize? Do you have frameworks, systems, templates, strategies that work for you that others might pay for?
Those are powerful questions. It feels like digging for treasure in your own backyard, doesn't it? And this isn't just theory. The framework also suggests a practical timeline, right? This 3-month revenue ramp strategy.
All right, breaks it down so it feels less daunting, makes it actionable for you. Month 1, foundation. The main goal here, launch the newsletter, obviously. Aim for maybe 5,000 subscribers. Focus relentlessly on quality and consistency to build that trust. And start sponsor outreach. Get a media kit ready.
And that media kit is key, right? Telling your story with data.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It needs to show who your audience is and why they trust you. Makes you attractive to sponsors. Then, month 2, monetization. This is when you launch your premium tier. Maybe aim for 500 paid subscribers initially. You also want to lock in your first 2 or 3 sponsor deals, even if they're smaller, just to get started. And crucially, create and offer your first VIP experience. Start small, test it out, see what resonates.
Okay, foundation, monetization, then what?
Month 3 is multiplication. Now you're aiming to scale subscribers, maybe 10,000 plus SANs. Actively add affiliate partnerships recommending things you genuinely use and like. And start exploring those consulting or licensing opportunities based on your expertise and assets. This is where those streams really start to build on each other and gain momentum.
It's really incredible seeing how that shift in perspective from just a newsletter to a revenue hub unlocks so much potential. But okay, to wrap this up, let's leave everyone with a final, maybe provocative thought, something that challenges the usual thinking about newsletter growth and just sticking with it.
Yeah, the analysis poses what it calls the million-dollar question. What really separates the newsletter creators who succeed long-term from those who start strong but kind of fizzle out after 3 months?
Yeah.
And the answer it gives, unequivocally, community.
Community. Okay, tell us more.
Well, the provocative part is this. The strongest newsletter communities. They don't just passively read your stuff. They actively participate. They help create value. They even help generate revenue. They become your advocates, your first buyers, your best feedback loop. So the big takeaway from this whole deep dive really is that premium subscriptions, yeah, they're important, they're foundational, but they are often the least profitable part of a truly successful newsletter business.
Wow. Say that again?
Premium subscriptions are often the least profitable part. The real money, that multi-million-dollar potential we talked about, it's in everything else the newsletter makes possible. And all of that is driven by the trust and the strong, engaged community you built. So the question for you as you think about all this is, how can you intentionally foster that kind of dynamic, participating community with your audience?